Hello, it is the Wednesday before the Comic-Con, which is this coming Saturday, meaning I've not got long left to finish this Batpod. So today's job is to paint it and to upholster the seat, which is what I'm going to start with right now. So this is my seat. It's just made of EVA foam, and it goes on top of the wooden seat on the body of the bike. I've got this piece of artificial leather vinyl stuff, which is really thick and really durable, which would be perfect. I'm not going to glue it, because if I put like hot glue on here, for example, you will see the glue through the fabric. So I'm going to use a combination of double-sided tape, which is a carpet tape, so that should be strong enough, and this stuff, Gorilla Tape, which is really strong, and that'll be for when I fold it under, stick along here. That's the plan anyway. Right, so first thing I've done is put a little bit in these bits here, because when I put a piece on the top here and then cut a slit down it here so it can fold over here, it'll spread apart because of this angle, leaving a gap. So this is just to fill that gap. I'm going to cover the whole thing in double-sided tape, I've decided, because it's sticking pretty well. Starting with the top, and then I'll put slits on the edges, and then put some tape up along here too, fold them over. Anything left will then be folded up and under here. I don't want to put any on the inside here because it fits pretty snugly onto the wooden section of the bike. I wouldn't want to make it so it doesn't go on anymore. So that's that double-sided carpet tape all on the top part of the seat. Now we're going to put this on top and then cut some slits at the edges. Getting there with it. It's not looking too bad. These white edges I'll probably go over with a black pen or something just to hide those. But yeah, it's working pretty well. There we go, one finished seat. So now it's time to do some painting. Right, that's enough painting. You don't need to see me just spraying stuff. It's pretty boring. So all the bits are painted now. Just got to unmask the barrels on this gun here and then reassemble it. So that's the masking tape off. And now to put the tips on and reassemble the pistons. And there we go. There's the tips on. And those piston things. And where these are on plastic and this is foam, I like the contrasting colors. These are a lot more shinier than this, and I think that looks pretty cool. Right, that's that assembled. I'm going to same for the other one and then add the detail bits of the bike. So this is the main body, painted black. These little things here are to thread this through, which is what I'm going to do now. Right, that's that hose on there. Just cable tied the ends together. I'm going to put the bits that cover these now, and I'm going to screw those in. Right, those boxes have been added on. I didn't glue them, I've screwed them on because screwing them is stronger, quicker, and these are just made of foam, but adding some real hardware to it just makes it look a lot more realistic and gives it that more manufactured look, I suppose. Next thing to do is to add some various wires and things up here. Right, so I've added these on. These just bits of wire that just poke into holes and things. I've now got to put these, what used to be the bucket things on. And as those on, they just velcro together in the middle here. And we're almost there. Let's put the handlebars on. And that's the handlebar thingies all on there. I've just screwed through this plastic pipe into these. These are just some grips and brake levers from an old bike, and I've just replaced the cable with an elastic just so they work without needing any actual brakes. Last thing to add on before this can get out of the house and into the van is that seat we did. That's over here, and that should just slot on as it did originally, like that. And now that looks like a legit thing. Time to put it in the van. There's going to be no assembling this until it gets to the Comic-Con. It all went together before. I'm sure it still will. So yeah, in the van it's going to go. Other than the wheels, that's the whole of the Batpod in the van. Right, little decon. Let's sit this bad boy up. The Batpod and the Comic-Con done. The Batpod went down really well, and from my point of view it was a really easy thing to set up on the day. It was nice and lightweight, so getting it out of the van was easy, and the setup only took a couple of minutes, which is fantastic. A couple of things I'm going to change next time I take it to an event is the things that just slot on by the pipe fitments, like the handlebar things, where I didn't add anything else to secure those. They're able to be like twisted and turned out of alignment. I guess when people stood next to it, maybe they knocked into it, or if they're sat on it gripping the handlebars, it might have moved them slightly. So all I'm going to do is just put a couple of screws in each of those just to hold them in place. If I do need to fit the Batpod through a tight doorway to set up or anything, if a venue's got limited access, then I always just keep a screwdriver handy and take those screws out and put them back on when I get the thing through the door. But yeah, other than that, quite an easy prop to make, really. I mean, I say easy, it's taken over 4 years if you consider I started it when I was doing Ed 209 ages ago. But yeah, no surprising challenges along the way, and I even had this one done a couple of days before the event, which is unheard of for me. One thing, while I was packing it away, I looked at the Batpod without its wheels on. It kind of looked like this, and it gave me an idea for a future project, but more on that at a later date. See you next time. Bye bye.